Okay, finally. Okay, good one. Let me just duplicate. So, okay. Go to- Hello, guys. Welcome back today. Let's just get right into it. So, apparently, I came online and for whatever reason, I couldn't have my vertical live come up. So that was why I had to actually just shut everything now and come back one more time again. And thanks. I saw that Chris tried to comment and just make did a shout out. I'm so sorry for that hiccup. So yeah, we're getting right into it again. Welcome everyone to this show. Um, we're gonna just go right into it. A lot has happened in the political space, and I just want to start with the current state of 2027 race, and that has to do with the defection. Okay, so apparently, Obi is now a full member of the ADC. Okay, and just one sec, let's sort this one out. Okay, yeah. Now I think we're good and ready to go. I'm gonna be looking at this. I know Buala had some chat, and then yeah, Dati Ahmed, right, is also actually out there trying to kind of tackle Peter Obi. But I'm just gonna take it from there. So there's been a request, I would say, for for Atiku to step down. That's the reality on ground. But Atiku has come out to say, you know what? I'm not stepping down. I'm not stepping down. I am actually in the fight for the presidency. So things get more interesting, and we're gonna actually take it from there. So Atiku is going nowhere. Okay, that's what he said. Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed announced 2027 presidential bid. So we're gonna look at that also. That's actually been trending for the whole day. I think that actually kind of shadowed the Peter Obi's defection in a way, but I think the Peter Obi's defection is still a bigger news anytime, any day. Okay. So okay. Yeah. So I think we're happening. Just one sec. Okay. Just give me one sec. Let me just sort this out. Okay. Yeah. So we're still Let me go from private, and then save this. And then, yeah, let me click done, save. Okay, yeah, good. I think we are good now. Just let me just double confirm that. Yeah. On and see where we got what we've got. Okay, I think we're good now. We should be good. Yeah. Okay. Welcome everybody. Welcome once again. Yeah. This is it's getting interesting in Nigeria. It's really getting interesting, I would say. Atiku said, you know what? I'm gonna be contesting in 2027. Okay. I mean, no matter how you think about it, no matter what your opinions are, we did talk about it here. Okay, and it was quite obvious that we said that, you know what, Atiku Abubakar will be contesting in 2027. You know, that was our conclusion on this show, and we were kind of also aware that there were a lot of agitation and there were a lot of requests, you know, coming from the obedient side of things, saying that, hey, just step down for our guy, or support our guy, or be the vice president for Peter Obi. And you know, then I said that it wasn't gonna work, just because of the way I'd perceived the whole thing, you know, to be going. And that's the reality. That's what we face as of now. That, you know, Atiku is running, Peter Obi is running, and just today, you know, there's now also Dati Ahmed joining the race for the presidency. So I just want to start with Obi, and then we'll take it from there.
Welcome back to Arise Prime Time, where we offer perspectives on the news and talking points of the day. I'm Charles Aniegolu. Now, anticipation in the world of Nigerian opposition politics is at fever pitch, but so is uncertainty following the announcement by the former Vice President and ADC presidential aspirant Atiku Abubakar that he will not step aside for any other candidate.
Yep.
Just weeks ago, social media was churning with gossip and hearsay. But now this announcement has scorched rumors that Mr. Abubakar might sacrifice his long-held but unrealized presidential ambition. For some in the camp of former Governor Peter Obi, who is the other notable figure vying for the ADC presidential ticket, the mood has darkened as it's become clear that Atiku fully intends to place himself in pole position. So, as both sides plot their next move, with Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso reportedly, allegedly exploring a joint ticket to challenge Atiku for the ADC presidential nomination, could these latest developments mark an inflection point, or perhaps even the unraveling of the ADC's chances of victory in 2027, or could it strengthen the party's position? Well, for more on this, I'm joined.
Yeah, and again, just that's a lot. That's a lot to actually, you know, just put together. So now he's talking about different, just within the ADC caucus, right? Just within the ADC caucus, you're looking at Atiku, you're looking at Peter Obi, and now there's also a possible exploration, or I would say talk, you know, coming from Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is saying, you know what, just give me something. It's so bad right now that Kwankwaso is like, just give me something. Presidential candidate, I don't mind. But if you're not giving me presidential candidate, you can give me VP and I will work with you. The desperation surrounding the 2027 election is becoming something that Nigeria, you know, has not seen. And I'm not talking about elections, because definitely most of the politicians are desperate, but I'm talking about the formation of this opposition party, you know. And it's getting clearer now that the real war, the real battle for 2027 actually has started. And it has started already, with the opposition. So, like we rightly said, Atiku is not stepping down for Peter Obi. So Peter Obi, I could just put on record that Peter Obi is not going to be winning the primaries. Okay, let's just put it that way. And then it's going to get interesting from there, because whoever wins the primaries now needs to select the running mate. And that's where I think Peter Obi would actually stand a chance. Most likely, he's going to be the running mate for Atiku.
Joined now from Kaduna by Ibrahim Abdul Karim, Director General of Big Tent Nigeria and Chairman of the Quad Steering Committee, which coordinates support groups for Peter Obi, including the Obedient Movement, the Big Tent Coalition for the Protection of Democracy, and the Coalition for Peter Obi. Mr. Abdul Karim, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and Happy New Year to you. We haven't spoken this year.
Good evening.
We spoke this afternoon. Now, let me ask you this.
Good evening, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, good evening to you. How do you respond to...
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Sure, you're most welcome. How do you respond to Atiku Abubakar's assertion that he's not stepping aside for any other candidate?
Thank you, Mr. Charles. I think Mr. Peter Obi, everybody that knows him, he went around. He didn't come out and just join ADC. He was part of the ADC from first day, and he made it very clear to everybody that wants to hear him from Nigeria. He said, I will be part of this coalition if this coalition is not just for us to grab power and give it to somebody, but if it is for us to come together and create a system that will work for Nigerians, because Nigeria has been longing for a good and genuine leadership, a purposeful leadership, not just picketing of who become what, who would my long-term ambition, a melocon, all these things. No, that's not what we need. What he said is that I am going to be part of this, and he's been part of it. And he has done something that none of these people that are aspiring, including Tinubu himself, done what he has done. Because what he did is that before fully declaring for the ADC, he talked to Obedient. He come up with space. He gave him time, 4 hours, to ask him questions. Why do you want to go there? How do you going to be participate? How are we going to? So nobody at all his meeting, there is no fora anywhere that Peter Obi is asking somebody to give him this ADC ticket on a platter of gold. What he said is that myself, what I have done as my previous engagement with people, and what Nigeria have seen, and also putting something that to unite us together, more especially given these young people that comes together behind him and call themselves obedient and call themselves young Nigerians that wants to see a new Nigeria. He carried everybody along. And what we are seeing is that he's not asking for anything on the platter of gold. What he's saying that we just want to be in this ADC, and we want ADC by the virtue of what the people that we have seen rushing and coming into ADC, and also the inspiration of Nigerians that want that don't want to go into one-party state. This is the collective thinking on all these young people that Mr. Peter Obi is presenting.
Right.
So he's not thinking of, nothing will make us to feel anything, anger or any disenchantment with the team of Atiku or others, because they said he's not stepping down for anybody.
Right.
Mr. Peter Obi is in this thing for the good of Nigerians, so he's not thinking of anything, somebody to give it on the platter of gold.
But let me put it.
Yeah, so just to put it out there, this is a primaries that we're talking about. Nobody's saying anything. I just felt like it was good that Atiku came out to make that clarification, because there was already a movement, there was already a trend, there was already what I'll call a demand made, and it wasn't coming from the Atiku's wing of the ADC. Peter Obi joined on the 31st of December, 2025. And then the next thing we saw was a statement, was a memo from UNUSA You understand? Was a memo from Yunusa. Hi, Nuno. Welcome to the show. And it's a statement from Yunusa saying that this is Peter Obi's for us. If there's a primaries and they felt like what was done wasn't good, or if there's a primaries and wasn't free and fair, that they would actually just leave the party and move on somewhere. That because we are the obedience, we are loyal to Peter Obi. And it was like, there was even nothing. Nothing has happened since he joined. He just joined on December 31st. And you guys started reading the riot act to every other person. So I think that was what made Atiku to come out to clarify that I'm in this to run. And that's what we've been saying, that we're quite all right. I'm not a fan of Atiku. I feel like he should have actually helped Obi, but I knew that was not going to help him. It was not going to step down for him. And I think I saw a picture of him in Dubai today. But that's the reality, I would allow
This
my
way, do you
friends to
see
keep speaking.
Atiku's statement as a challenge to Peter Obi's candidacy? If
No, it's
so, how
not.
do you plan to address it?
Not at all, not at all, because we know where we are going into. We know the terrain. Most of the people that think otherwise about Mr. Peter Obi have already rethink of their condition in 2023. They have now seen him in a better way, and they see him as somebody that is consistent. If you look at who he was as a governor, who he was as a, everybody knows one thing about him. In all the anywhere we have gone to, I've never met one person that said Mr. Peter Obi is a thief. And I have not met one person that said Mr. Peter Obi is not a wealth manager. Everybody knows him in trying to pull up something that he will do, and he said what he will do. So how?
Okay. Do you know who else they said is not a thief? Nobody has come out to say categorically that Buhari was a thief. Nobody. Nobody has come out to say Buhari is a thief. Oh yeah, he had people under him that were really real thieves and robbers that, robbed the treasury. But Buhari, nobody says is a thief. This is a very, very difficult terrain. We need more from the obese movement on I don't even know how to put it. We need more from his movement with respect to the messaging. We need something more solid than he's not a thief, he saved the money. People are desperate in need of leadership. People are desperately in need of opposition. I was thinking that we're getting closer to having an opposition in 2026 that would actually make the ruling party tremble. But I don't think we're close yet.
Will that be something that will cause a trouble or anything in our system? What we just need to do is that we do things that are different. What everybody is saying, including people that hate Mr. Peter Obi, is that he's a unique politician. He tries to do things new. Because if you keep doing the same thing, bringing the same set of people, bringing the same holistic thinking, you virtually get the same result. We have seen it in Buhari, we have seen it in Tinubu, so it didn't change any matters.
Hey, Digidajo, morning. Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome to the show. Appreciate that.
And my friend, Mr. Paul, is saying the same. We can't change until we do something new. And from his entrance into this ADC arena, everybody is sure that this man, we have never seen somebody bring in all his team, not only his team, not his associate, people that are his elders in the politics, people that he learned politics from them. He said, come all of us, let's go together into this. Because
yeah, and I kind of agree with that. Peter Obi coming into ADC was the kind of momentum that they all needed. To be honest with you, Peter Obi out of the ADC was more like a shell company. I mean, it was more like a business transaction where Rafun Wosu, just bought over. But again, him coming into the show trying to do stuffs and all that. I don't know if he's going to deliver the final result, but I can actually agree with you that he has actually brought in some momentum. Now, will the momentum continue? Is it going to win? That's what I'm still trying to watch out. And it depends on, this is a very critical time for the ADC and the opposition. It depends on how they come together. And like I said, it's an uphill battle. Okay, because you're coming to meet a formidable force. It's not as if the formidable force, which is APC, they don't have their own internal stuff, but it's not as evident as what you see in the opposition party. Obi is a loser. I mean, he's trying his best. I don't know. He's trying his best. It's just unfortunate. I mean, we're still going to get to what Dati Ahmed, spoke about today, which I feel that wasn't a very good remark, coming from him, despite the fact that they actually were in this struggle together just few months ago. We'll see what happens. But I think the momentum that they have right now, if care is not taken, is going to win if they don't talk to themselves and come out with a formidable plan of action. And it's just quite unfortunate.
So we have to show the strength. We have to show that we are working together. Because if they are not working together, we can't get where we want. Peter is coming from the angle of unifying Nigeria. His candidacy alone is showing that we have to unite. We can't be one-sided. This small thinking that people are saying that northern dominance, social dominance, whatever people are calling it, we have to stop and think. This Nigeria is prepared to lead the world. Right. Not just lead Africa. Let me just come in we need a very...
I mean, you're prepared to lead the world. First, lead your political party. Let's even start from there. Lead your political party first. Let's know where you're able to get to. Because I'm not seeing any leadership, at the political party side of things. Okay? And that's both on, those that left PDP and then now those that are also, joining. Because LP, now, we all know, I told you guys, that, LP was actually not going to join in the party, though some individuals did join. And it's painful to me that we don't just have a very effective opposition in Nigeria as we speak. And it's not going to just affect the presidency. It's going to affect other positions, state levels and all that. Yeah, we have advised Obi to go for presidential candidacy of ADC and at once become the VP. We need to be part of the government to attract critical infrastructure to the east before the country fragments. Yeah, but I think David Umahi was reading a lot of stuff that he's doing for the east as we speak. Right? So is that one not acceptable? I'm just asking. Maybe the strategy is fight for presidency. So what you're saying right now is fight for the presidency in a hope that when you fall, you're gonna fall to the VP level. That might be a plausible case. I guess. And again, Obi has to appear to the obedient that he's not actually giving up. Right, because I mean, there's been a lot of stories from the obedient, some obedient saying that they are not happy with Obi leaving the LP and just joining the ADC. But I felt like that was the best opportunity that he had as of now, given what LP has turned into. Okay, let's
very serious. Right. Thinking, mind thinking
let me just come in there,
into
Mr.
that seat and also start doing something.
Right, let me just come in there, Mr. Abdul Karim, because it's not entirely fair to say that Atiku Abubakar is not a unifier. He's always been someone who reached across to the southeast and to other parts of the country to try and bring people together. I don't speak for him, but we have to be sort of factual in our assessment. But let me ask you this. How do you think Peter Obi's perspective stacks up against Atiku Abubakar's experience in the political arena? I mean,
and again, just before he answers the question, I agree with that stuff from Atiku. I think Atiku has been, and again, I'm not just trying to I'm not even a fan. really. But I think when you look at politics played by Atiku has been the one that is kind of a little bit of a, I would say, level head. Because I've experienced, I'm not PDP, I don't support PDP, but I've experienced PDP guys debate. I've experienced LP guys, obedience. Let me not say LP because LP is a thing of the past now. It's obedient, right? I've experienced, the obedient. I've experienced the APC too. And to be honest with you, out of the three guys, when it comes to political discourse, I think PDP guys, and I'm talking about the youths now, I'm not talking about the leaders, I'm talking about when we have discourse on X Space and all those other things. I think PDP guy tries to still be kind of in the middle, not too toxic. Okay. That's not my experience with the other two. I mean, Obedient and APC, they go band for band every day. They kind of go at it, and it's always toxic. So again, I think Atiku has been that guy that kind of reaches out. Don't forget, Atiku actually brought Obi into the national politics.
How does Mr. Obi's leadership style and vision for Nigeria differ from Atiku Abubakar's? And why do you think Peter Obi is the better choice? I mean, I know you touched on a little bit of that just now, but what specific policies or qualities do you think Obi brings to the table that would make him a stronger candidate than Atiku?
Obi is the table now. Obi is the table.
One is age at all. I think we have to add that. But number one thing I want people to understand about Mr. Peter Obi is that it's a person that keep to his words. That's number one. So he's not a person that he said this and do the other thing. Number two, he's going to bring excitement, because in politics, if you want to remove an incumbent, you have to bring somebody that will excite the base. The base of what? The base of the young people. Okay. He's everywhere. You can see him in the airport. You can see him. He's not having a private jet. He can earn not one, not two, not three or four private jets. We have seen so many ex-governors enjoying this that he can fly without. But he choose, if he don't have a way of going to a place, that's the only way you see him.
That doesn't make him to be qualified to lead a country. That the guy doesn't drive a private jet, he goes through economy. I mean, they do that a lot in the United Kingdom and all that. The fact that someone is, and I don't think that has actually helped the country in any way. Now, I understand the argument that you have to be efficient when it comes to resources and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. What is it going to do? I'm expecting more.
Coming down to say, okay, let me get a private jet to take me to where I want to go to. But if he has the money to where he wants to go to, he will join economy in Nigeria if he's trying.
That might not be efficient. You joining economy might not be an efficient way to do your job. Okay? And that's why the billionaires go for private jets. Because they need to get somewhere at some point. They need to move again. They have to do this and that.
Outside the country, he will see him in business class. He talk with the people. We see him hang around and eat everywhere. So accessibility in leadership is very, very important. You don't have to have somebody that is being caged. If they said they cage Cabal, cage Buhari, Cabal, cage Tinubu, then we don't want this story to continue.
Guys, even
also,
laughing.
We want somebody that at least he can be.
Cabal is not caging Tinubu. Tinubu is a cabal himself. He's the one caging the cabal. The guy is the one running his own thing.
Everywhere at every time for him to see for himself what is happening. I know I have never seen, maybe because of my age, to see a president in a ministry trying to discuss and have a conversation with a permanent secretary, with the staff of that university. It's always that he said in the weekend, after every week, people comes to him and they do what they call a fake meeting, and then he disperse people to go, and then everything continue. But everybody that knows Peter is a somebody that you see him everywhere. He's a trader, so he's a manager of wealth. He will not spend our money recklessly, and he will not have enough issues to go around his family. And we don't want
to... I agree with that one, because I don't understand the excesses of Sheyi Tinubu. I mean, that one, I don't even understand. I learned that they were seeing his pictures all around Morocco. That's insane, and that's kind of unfortunate. Let me not use a very bad word.
To present somebody from ADC, then the APC, which we know they are the greatest fear. Their greatest fear is Peter Obi, to start saying your thief is better than our thief because your age, your old man is better, is even older than our old man. So that's not the conversation we want during the election. What we want during the election is to stick on developmental points, to talk about issues, to talk about Nigeria, to talk about things. But if we allow these issues to go on and we have put a president that maybe is from the north, for example, then maybe we allow the APC to run away from the trap they put for themselves of the Muslim ticket, to pick up somebody from the middle belt, right, and also start the confusion and telling Nigerians that it's this time for the South. Anytime South have done one term, the North will just jump off it. So they will give the Tinubu people more arsenal, for example, right, to checkmate. And this
it's politics, bro. It's politics. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Okay, it's politics. I mean, because of the Muslim ticket. So your argument is that Atiku should not contest because of what APC would say. I mean, that's not even in Atiku's mind. Atiku's mind is, how do I clinch on this power? I don't know if it still has a chance, with all these things that is happening. But again, it is what it is.
People that you see them on Twitter, you see them on Facebook, what they want to do, what they are doing, and what they want to continue to do is that to bring fact to this government, to show them you can't go to the next second term because you lack this, you lack this, you lack that. There is no even sincerity of leadership.
Right.
Between
okay.
this
Let me come in there, Abdul
So we don't want to repeat the same thing. We really want to move to the next level. Not just to stand in one place and just be doing the same thing.
Right. Let me come in there because we're starting to run out of time. I mean, let me pick up on the points you made, something you made there. I mean, and say that clearly there are a number of strong candidates in the mix in the ADC. There's Peter Obi, there's Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, perhaps others. Do you think the ADC should opt for a consensus candidate or go with a competitive primary? Should the party prioritize unity and potentially choose a consensus candidate, or should they go with the best candidate, even if it means a competitive primary?
So a primaries may not, at the end of the day, give you the best candidate. A primaries will give you somebody that knows how to win the primaries. So, but that being said, primaries is also very important because it's at that point that you actually, number one, it's democratic, right? So you can see the internal democracy work. Okay, that's one. Then secondly, okay, a primaries also gives the opportunity for the final person running to be able to go through that process. It's a competition. So when you go through that primary, you're actually primed, you're actually, groomed to be able to now face whoever is coming at the general.
Mr. Charles, if you can think, you can bring, for example, Mr. Former Senate President David Mark out of his retirement to come to a center to take a position of being chairman of a party with all what he achieved in his life from the military up to this level, just for him to come and lose election. You can't think of Arebesola after...
You heard that Shedma was telling Arewa to resist any attempt to divide the country. And I'm beginning to wonder why they want Nigeria to remain one when they're the one working against the unity. Yeah, because they benefit more from Nigeria becoming one. To be honest with you, they benefit more. The oil is from the south, right? How much do we get from their mineral resources and all that? Coming from the north. And, so again, I mean, for now, they still feel that there's a need to hold the whole thing together because, again, indirectly also, they have a upper hand when it comes to the numbers. Even though they need, they need votes from the south, but in terms of the north, wherever the north goes, massively dictates who wins the election. So again, they think that they still have the upper hand, and that's the thing. And they're benefiting a lot, to be honest.
all that he has done, being a governor, being a minister, whatever he has achieved in his life, to become a secretary of a party just to lead election. And you can't think of all these people that you have mentioned to gather themselves together because they want to lose election, just for them not coming together to put the right candidate. I was there with...
No, so again, what is this guy talking about? You're making some statements here that are like, again, do you want democracy or you don't? That's the question. And I believe your guy would have also, the Southerners should, I know they benefit more, but why are they not keeping by stopping terrorism? That question is what I don't understand. You know, I mean, as in that what you're trying to say is the question I keep asking myself. Why are these guys kind of sympathizing with this terrorist? Why are they not even talking? Why are they not even doing anything? Remember that this terrorism we are talking about also kind of spun up under them. If my English is right. It amazes me. It amazes me how, you know what, they've allowed this thing to fester all across, not just even the North. You know, it's moving now, and it's moving gradually, you know, even to the South. It's quite unfortunate.
When we are doing the APC things, we know people that contested with Buhari, but at the end, the main concession from everybody is that we have to bring up somebody that can win. And
again, you're conflating the whole issue about bringing someone that can win. Again, I keep telling people that where APC was in 2014, ADC, and the names are even confusing. ADC is not even close to where they were, because it was clear who was going to be the presidential candidate. It was a game of numbers.
And I'm just telling you what Mr. Peter Obi can bring. We need that excitement. We need somebody we know. Because, for example, the argument for removing PDP was that PDP was mismanaging our money. People are stealing money. The Suki Gate and other things are happening. And then we brought in the Buhari, and now we have seen a lot of conviction, and we've seen a lot of EFCC cases on this matter.
So if we're seeing a lot of that on this matter, even though it was the APC that was in charge 8 years ago, you know, up until now, why are we seeing all that? You know, that's a question you need to ask, because at that point in time, everybody was doing whatever they feel like they can get away with, thinking that things will continue, both from the CBN to the cabals, in quotes.
What we are seeing is that we have a lot of money. Now we have spent almost double or 3 times or 10 times what we have spent on the PDP and also the APC Buhari's first government to this government of Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So if you put everything together, we really need somebody that can unveil that, somebody that can now manage our resources. The way when we understand it.
Okay, I'm going to move on. Yeah, I'm going to move on. And I just want to also talk about Obi. This is another interview that I think it's going to be interesting.
It's akin to putting the cart before the horse.
Oh, God, let's
Threats
go
that the ADC remain. This, I'm joined now in the studio by Paul Ibe, media advisor and spokesman for the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Good to see you.
Okay, so this is from the
Happy New Year to you.
Abubakar side.
So Atiku's argument is essentially that the ADC presidential ticket should be earned and not handed out. Is that right?
Well, Charles, you know, ideally we shouldn't be having this conversation. It's akin to putting the cart before the horse. You know, but we know what is going on. And, you know, the Tinubu-led administration, you know, is all over the place. Rather, you know, they are supposed to be focused on governance, on matters of security, you know, on, you know, the life and the well-being of the people. You know, but they're not doing that. You know, they are dabbling into politics, and even politics, you know, of the opposition parties.
Well, it's not entirely fair to say they're not doing that, because they clearly are doing something. I mean, we hear every day in the news about, you know, bandits and terrorists and so on, Islamists being apprehended. They haven't quite got on top.
But they've not handled it in a way that I would have loved. You eradicate it such that, yeah, there's still going to be one or two, morons, doing all those stuff. But again, it will be like infinitesimal. It will just be like, we could maybe one random stuff, not organized in a way, right? I'm not happy with the APC's administration's handling of security. I'll just put it out there. Because the fact that somebody, who is now the police of the world had to come in to be bombing terrorists in your territory says that it's not been well done.
Of it, but it's not fair to say they're not doing anything.
My reading of the situation, like in the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks or thereabout, when United States happened on the scene, it appears that they have taken the back seat.
Yep.
And they are hoping that some other, country, some other leader, will be able to, do what they are supposed to do. I mean, which is to contain, the terrorist activities, the banditry and the rest of it. There are still killings all over the place.
Yeah, but to be fair, and I'm not in any way downplaying what you're saying, because that has considerable merit. I mean, the focus of this conversation is the statements that you released about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar saying that he is going to run and he's not going to step us down or step aside for anybody, and in fact telling all the other aspirants not to step down for anybody.
Yes.
I mean, that's the main focus.
Yes, I was trying to establish the nexus.
Right, okay.
Between, what is going on. And I said we are not supposed to be having this conversation. The reason being that the focus right now for the ADC is to build the structures, the needed structures. I mean, I've said it repeatedly that a house without pillars, without structures, will collapse. So the leadership of the ADC is mobilizing people right from bottoms up, the wards to local government structures, the state structures. So they are doing that. So what is happening now is that the Tinubu administration, the government, you see clearly. I mean, you're not you didn't happen on Nigeria and all of. You've been in this country last. You saw what happened when His Excellency Peter Obi, formally declared his reason for it. You saw what happened. The Minister of the Aviation, who should be focused on aviation matters, if he did that, I mean, the damage, to the $85 million brand new aircraft of the Air Peace would not have happened. But he is focused on, on politics. If the other gentleman whose, job prescription is, communication and law, if he had done his job, they would not be forging, pictures out of, Paris. So that is a clear what I'm saying. They are not doing their job.
Well, they said they did not forge any picture, that what they did was enhance the picture.
You see what they are doing?
Yeah, again, I don't even understand why. There are so many things the opposition can talk about. There's so many areas the opposition can actually wade into than to be talking about Groks. I said it here that Grok stuff, scandal, Grok Gates, I felt like that was just nothing bugger. You put your picture on Grok, and because you're not a paid subscriber, it's gonna put Grok's symbol on it. Igbos will push very hard in this election because it gives us two advantage. If Obi wins, we will change the trajectory, and the West may push for division, and that favors too. Either way, it's a win. Okay. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see where that leads to. I think the Southeast right now, I think they are playing a more bigger politics. They're trying to also have an inroad into the national politics, not just through one vehicle or one political, party. I think they are now spreading their wings. Because far too long, they're like, you know what? Politics, we don't want the politics of, win all or lose, winners take all. So now they're spreading their wings. They're now having some inroad into the APC, Okay, I've been seeing so many alignment and in that regard. So again, it might not be, there might be a push, and of course, overwhelmingly, wherever Peter Obi appears, I believe Southeast will definitely, go for him in a very, very massive proportion. But I think there is also that effort, to also ensure that whatever happens or whoever wins, the Southeast also has something to hold on to. I'm just trying to put some perspective. So either ways, we'll see how that goes.
Is that because they are unable to do their job? I mean, we're paying them with our hard-earned, scarce resources.
Yeah,
because they are not
agree.
doing their job. We are getting bogged with unnecessary.
Right, but let me bring you back to the focus of this interview. I mean, would you say, and because a lot of people seem to think that this is the case, would you say that the ADC is a platform that is currently dominated by Atiku Abubakar? Because, as I said, many in the press and on social media are saying pretty much that.
Of course it is.
You're giving, it's as if Atiku Abubakar is a larger, the man is, I don't think he's an elephant.
No.
If you say he's dominated.
I certainly don't think he's an elephant.
When you say he's dominated, I don't understand exactly what
He's dominating. That's what it means. I mean, it's not, we don't need to mince words or try to sugarcoat it. Atiku is dominating the ADC. Atiku owns ADC. ADC is equals to Atiku. Atiku is equals to ADC.
What I mean is that if it doesn't really, I'm not saying that his stature is overwhelming. I'm simply saying, although potentially it could be, but what I'm saying is whether or not he has put his own sort of imprimatur on the ADC to the extent that the party is something that he, as some have suggested, has essentially in his pocket.
That's taking, that's mischief, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's not mischief.
No,
it's
it is, because Atiku Abubakar is just a member of the ADC. Yes, he's a leader, a former vice president. So he's a leader, and he's not one of the leaders. He's not the only leader. There are other leaders, of the party from, different parts of the country.
Okay.
But then it is in the nature of politics. Politics is about engagement. You need to engage. You need to reach out. Is Atiku Abubakar reaching out? Yes, he is. Is he helping to build the needed structures? Yes, he's doing that. And if you don't have structures, you can't win an election. So he's working in concert with
Okay, good that you're hearing that now. No structure, no election
other
winning.
leaders to ensure that the right structures are put in place.
Has there been any discussion between Mr. Atiku and Mr. Obi about any compromise as far as the ticket is concerned? Any discussion at all about yielding the top ticket?
Like I said earlier, having that kind of conversation is putting the cart before the horse.
But you said it's about engagement. That's what politicians do.
I said yes.
I mean, they talk to each other, they try to reach compromises, they try to enhance their positions.
Yes, but I can tell you for a fact that what you just said now is not one of the conversations that they are having.
So they've never had a conversation between the... I mean, given the fact that Peter Obi at one point was Atiku's running mate.
No, they have not had that conversation as far as the ADC is concerned.
No discussion at all about how what to do about the top ticket?
Like I said, their preoccupation is building, ensuring that they have a robust and alternative platform that can give the APC a run for the money. If they are focused on all of that, it is like trying to share the booty even before the war is over.
But creating a robust platform
yes.
in which they themselves are aspirants automatically implies that they themselves will be trying to strengthen their position as part of that creation of What is your reaction then to reports that Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso are allegedly working together to challenge Atiku for the ADC ticket, and that former President Olusegun Obasanjo is supporting their alliance? I mean, he's not really Atiku's best friend, is he?
Again, I don't even know. Obasanjo in this whole scenario, I wouldn't put anything, past him. Have you guys ever thought of Tinubu and Atiku kicking some buckets set by higher beings before the 2027 elections? Again, that was what they said about Biden. That was what they said, that we're going to see a President Kamala Harris. Again, I don't know. Anything can happen. anything can happen, but we just live one day at a time. It's plausible, but again, things happen. Yeah, things happen. And if that happens, that changes the whole trajectory. Because now, and I don't know if it makes, with the structure on ground, it becomes a little bit dicey. Actually, that's a very good question. Do you want to see a President Shetima? Oh my God, that's gonna be even worse. A President Shetima. Well, I've never thought of what would happen if that happens. But if that happens, it's going to be much more interesting. That I can say.
It's in the nature of politics, and every leader, every individual, can chart their own course. And I'm not here to, to validate that, to speak to that, because I'm not even qualified. I don't speak for His Excellency Peter Obi. Neither do I speak for.
Nobody's asking you to speak for Peter.
Yes.
We're asking you to speak for Atiku Abubakar.
Yes.
And his reaction to that alleged alliance.
It's up to them.
Obviously, it's up to them.
Okay.
It's not up to you.
His Excellency Rabiu Musa Kwakwanso is not a member of the ADC. The last time that we checked,
At least not yet.
he's not a member of the ADC, and so, whatever conversation that they are, it's certainly not about ADC. It is something happening outside of the ADC structure. So
yeah, Congress is actually definitely a threat to both parties, even the APC. But again, to what extent do I think he's able to rejinx things? Because I think Atiku is a major problem for him, right? Not even Obi or Tinubu,
it's allowed, because even the party itself is trying to expand its coast. It's reaching out, to individuals and other, other parties, and a lot more people are going to come on board. And so we have not yet seen, the last, and His Excellency.
Okay, let me just fast.
Did a formal declaration.
See.
Maybe he's going to teach, wherever it is, deploy him to go and teach them how to rig elections. Live in this country. We knew what happened in 2019. That election was rigged. We knew what happened in 2023. That election was rigged.
What are your facts? What are your evidences? Because it all went to the tribunal, and again, you could have issues with the way it was handled. I didn't see people that were seriously bringing real hard-on evidence. But again, if it says it was rigged, that's an opinion, and you can be right also with that. What can I
So it's not about
with
trusting
Nigeria and the politicians?
It's about the institutions that are supposed to run the election. And, the former ANEC chairman, has
He's now an
been
ambassador.
rewarded for a job well done. He's now an ambassador,
Yeah.
plenipotentiary.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to teach, wherever it is, deploy him to go and teach them how to rig elections.
Well, that's not kosher, is it? Now, some have suggested that Atiku is doing a good job for Mr. Tinubu by insisting on running again, and that this will ensure that the same divisions that led to the opposition losing in 2023, when collectively they could have won easily, will manifest again in 2027. What's your reaction?
This is the narrative
Yeah, I know
of the Tinubu camp.
No, you're saying it's a narrative.
Yes,
The
it
fact
is.
No, it's not even coming from the Tinubu camp. That's obvious. That's what the obedience is. And some people are saying that US will like to say Christian rule the country to balance things up. US has never left any country they interfered in their politics without significant change. Yeah, but I don't think that would how do I even put that? I don't know if they would also have to look at how plausible that is or how visible that is, how feasible that is. But right now, I don't think imposing or trying to favor one religion against another in Nigeria would necessarily lead to a better outcome for the country as a whole. Remember, we had Jonathan. The only thing left now is to divide. Again, dividing the country is also not as easy as you would want it, But again, I believe in self-determination, though, But you have to be able to push through, and they've made it difficult. That I agree.
Is that
It is a narrative.
Peter
It's a
Obi came
narrative. They are
third,
the ones who are
according to the
advancing.
official figures. Atiku came second, but together they got more than 60-something% of the votes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they've learned their lessons. I believe so.
I
All
hope
of
it's
the
not too
leaders.
late, though.
They are
I hope
not
it's not
happy
too
with what
late.
is happening. This is a call to national duty. They recognize that. And I don't think it's about anyone's ambition. It's not about the ambition of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar or the ambition of, Governor Mechi or the ambition of, Mr. Peter Obi. I don't think that's what it is. It's a call to national duty. And they recognize that.
And what does that mean in real terms?
This country...
Because they're not sacrificing anything for any other person.
No, we are the ones, those of us on the outside, we are the ones, all of these permutations. We are not in them. We don't know what they are, the conversations that they are having away from the camera. And these conversations will not be had, on our
But you just said that there hasn't been. So there are conversations.
There will always
between
be conversations.
Because you said earlier that you don't know any. When I asked you whether Peter
Which
Obi
is specific
and
to what you're talking
Atiku
about.
Abubakar were having any conversation.
No, to the specific, question that you asked about. That particular conversation.
Yeah, the specific question was about whether they are talking there's any discussion at all of relinquishing a ticket or.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to just move. Okay, let me just finish this.
Discussing ways of.
Yes, and my response was that they are focused on building formidable structure, without which their individual ambitions comes to naught.
The pain that the tribal wahala, the stealing is too much. Yeah, Chibok girls since 2014 is quite painful, and I think that also, it's a result that comes from the way PDP and APC has handled things over the years. If the present Muslim government is proven to lie and support terrorism, US would prefer a Christian president. Do they think they didn't know what happened during the last election? Yeah, and again, if it can be proven, if it can be proven that the government has been complicit, in all of this terrorism and all that, that might be a plausible reason. I'm just looking at how that will play out, with respect to direct interest, for the United States.
Do you think that between Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar, Atiku will be the choice of the Nigerian masses in preference to Peter Obi?
Well, Peter Obi is a member of the ADC now. Atiku Abubakar is a member of the ADC now. And I think they are both better together.
No, but you know what happened in 2022 was that Peter Obi and Atiku were in the PDP. Peter Obi felt that the position his position had become untenable in the PDP, and he left to another party. And then, rather than both of them working together, he essentially became a challenge to Atiku Abubakar. And that's why I'm asking you that, because all we have is looking back at precedent about potentially what could happen in 2027.
And my response is that both leaders and all of the leaders, those in the ADC, have learned from what happened in 2023.
Yeah, well, that's why I ask you, what does that mean in real terms?
What it means in real terms is that the leaders of that party will determine the direction that they're going to go. Listen, you see...
No, but are you saying that if Peter Obi perceives, and his supporters perceive, that Atiku Abubakar has once again used his whatever considerable leverage he has to predominate in the ADC.
American intelligence reviewed 2023 elections and found out that the glitch from Amazon server was a blatant lie. They're likely to correct things in the next election, Tinubu knows. Again, with respect to that election, to be honest with you, coming from servers, coming from electronic stuff, I don't even think the United States would actually hold that as a way for them to want to interfere, in the Nigerian election, because the person in charge right now, as we speak, okay, the person in charge in the United States right now hates anything that has to do with servers or internet. What he believes in is paper ballots. Okay, and that's Trump. One of the things that Trump is fighting against right now is the use of electronics to run elections, because he believes that with electronics there's actually more fraud. And I've actually listened to some analysis, outside of just this Maduro arrest, the president of Venezuela, that one of the things that they're actually also trying to look into and get to the bottom of is what really happened in the 2020 elections with the electronics. Because the old system that they actually use, in that 2020 elections where Trump lost, that all is a Smartmatics, the name of that company again, and the name of all this, the Dominion stuff, they have certain routes to Venezuela. That was actually the old system that Hugo Chavez was actually using to rig elections. So again, I'm saying that would the United States really want to actually go all in, even though the person in charge of the United States elections right now, technically, even though I know it's the states that runs the election in the United States, but even though the guy in charge in the White House right now doesn't really like electronic stuff. I'm just saying, mention just one other country in the world where politicians switch political party like that. It's actually a disgrace. The way politicians switch their political party in Nigeria, there's actually no ideology. Nigerian politics is actually goes through the divide of politics, religion, tribe, what else? So there's really no ideology, and that's the problem. And that's why they can actually easily switch. You're in PDP in the morning, in the afternoon you're in, Labour Party, the next day you're in another one.
And they feel that they haven't been given the best shots that they could have had. That you're saying that the lessons they've learned is that they're just going to swallow it and sit there in the ADC?
What I'm saying is that the ADC is very uncomfortable with a situation where parties external to the, elements external to the party will be the ones making all of the permutations, all of the calculations.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case in 2020.
Yeah, I must. Again, I mean, the parties will always interfere. There have been reports where the Democrat Party in the U.S. will fund Republican candidate that they know is most likely to lose elections, so that they can then have a bigger performance, or so that their own candidates will then actually win the general one. Now, it does backfire at times. One of the things that Trump actually, one of the things that made Trump, remember Trump like pre-election polls. Peter Obi was winning most of the opinions of likely voters before the 2023 elections, and Trump knows it. No, so the poll that the Atedo Pista side brought up, I don't know. I don't even know about that poll, to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest with you, when it was presented that in 2023, I was like, for real? Even then now, what's it called? El Rufai is now part of ADC, right? He even disputed that poll at the time. Hi, when will electoral system be trusted in Nigeria? If we get it right, when? Then we are in the right way to strengthen our democracy. Yeah, we're getting it right with Jega and Jonathan. I think that's one of the elections that has been good. And there's no place in the world where election is 100% free and fair, but you can actually guide towards something, that is at least has a resemblance of it being free and fair. And I think with the IREV and the Beavers, I think we should be able to get there. So hopefully, 2020, I think for the state elections now, they're using IREV. So during the last election in Anambra State, there was no reported cases of them actually switching votes. The only thing that was a problem in that Anambra election was vote buying. Vote buying. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, America conducted polls. I would need to look at that. Who did that poll? Because that's quite interesting. Which democracy, typical Nigeria? I would love to see that poll because the only poll that I saw was from Atedo side.
22.
No, but this is the case now.
You're saying...
This is the case now. And you see, listen, let's not prejudge these leaders. Let us not go ahead of them. When we do that, I believe that we're invariably acting the script of the Tinubu camp.
Nobody's acting in
No. Without knowingly or unknowingly, we are doing that because that's their preoccupation. And look at when His Excellency Peter Obi made a formal declaration. Minister of Aviation, 3 presidential aides abandoned their assignments. All the talk was about, why this.
Well, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
No, it's not.
There's nothing wrong with them reacting to a situation, a political situation that is aimed at posing a threat to them. They have every right to respond to it.
Their primary responsibility, as people that you and I pay tax, and I believe you pay tax, is from the tax that we paid.
Oh, now we're talking about tax.
Service all of their needs. This is not politics. It is governance. They have portfolios. They have assignments they're supposed to do. And politics should not take precedence.
Anyway, look, your statement issued, you've said that the APC is targeting the ADC for infiltration, or that perhaps it's already infiltrated with the intention of undermining the party. Are you saying that in order to ward off any attempt to do this by the ruling party, or are you saying they're already doing that? Because if they are, then clearly, and you credit them with some measure of success in that regard, then clearly they've damaged your party, haven't they?
The leadership of the party, the stakeholders of the party, are taking measures to ensure that they don't succeed. In this an unpatriotic, job that they have assigned to themselves.
Yeah, but what evidence is there that they've been doing?
There are things I cannot share, with you, on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would have thought that if that is the case, your best bet is to bring it out into the light. Have they approached you? Are you aware of people who've been approached, and in what manner were they approached?
Again, talking about just the election results and all that, so I just asked, so again, I think the polls, based on what I'm seeing here, did the American poll show Peter Obi winning? No, there's no evidence from The Economist, CNN, or any credible fact-checking source that a poll conducted in or by America, YouGov, Economist, will show Peter Obi winning. But there were several pre-election polls in Nigeria from ANAP Foundation, NY, and Next Year and others that show Peter Obi leading in various intention at various points before the February 2023 vote. That's it. However, these were Nigerian conducted poll, not American ones. Extensive searches found no record, of that. And I asked specifically, what about Economist and the CNN? No, neither the Economist or CNN conducted or published a poll showing Peter Obi winning the 2023 elections. So the Economics extensively covered the election and expressed strong editorial support for Peter Obi. For instance, they described him as a surprise frontrunner who was leading the polls. Okay, the polls, right? Based on what was conducted in February 2023 article. In the leader article, they stated that Peter Obi offers the best hope for new leadership in Nigeria. However, these references were to domestic Nigerian polls, such as ANAP and NY. So again, let's see. Okay, Steers Analytics. Okay, let me see this one. Yeah, because I'm just checking. I didn't even see any, because again, I just want to know what were the methodologies used with respect to conducting the polls. Let me see. What was the margin of error? And did they call people in the far north, in the villages and all that? How do we even know if those ones were part of the samples? Or was it Lagos and Abuja? Because if you had done a poll and your major sample is from Lagos and Abuja, of course, Peter Obi will be the one leading because he won both places. Tinubu even struggled to have 25% in Abuja and he lost to Lagos. So again, based on your statistical, what will I call it now, representation or distribution, definitely you may have a poll that would have shown Peter Obi leading. Okay, Stairs is a Nigerian data and analytics firm. So they conducted pre-election polls and predictive analysis. So that's Nigeria again. They're finding based on a large-scale survey projected Peter Obi, Labour Party, as the likely winner under most scenario, particularly with high vote turnout. However, they noted that low turnout could favor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that was what happened. That was a low turnout. Sample size, 6,000 Nigerians, age 18 and above. Okay, that was a methodology here. That was done January 5 to 10. Yeah, again, age 18 and above, which is fair. Key result, Peter Obi 27, Bola Tinubu 15, Atiku 12. Yeah, and then, Tinubu was first, Atiku second, Peter Obi. Again, I don't know. Steers modern predicted outcome based on voters turnout, a critical factor. So again, if it was anchored on voters turnout, then of course the voters turnout was very low, one of the lowest we've seen, so far. So again, let's just put that as it may. But thanks for that. I mean, I didn't even know that there were a lot of polls. I just saw the one that was presented by Ted Opitisad at the time. Okay, let's go.
You see, every day, the Tinubu camp is working assiduously to ensure that the opposition, when I mean opposition, I'm not talking about just ADC, opposition.
Yeah, but I'm talking about specifically about the ADC.
No, I'm not talking about, ADC as part of the opposition. To decimate it, they don't want an opposition. They don't want an opposition. They don't. They don't want it. It is clear. I mean, let's not overflog this issue.
Well, you could make the argument about perhaps the Labour Party, the PDP, which have both, been severely dented. And, the APC would argue that it's not their fault, that they're simply, fighting each other within the party. But if you made the argument that you're making now, people might see some element of plausibility in your argument.
Okay, let me tell you.
But the ADC does not appear to have, suffered that kind of, if you like, damage yet. And that's why the question is being asked, have they actually infiltrated your party as you allege that they have? Or are you saying that in order to ward off any attempt to do that?
That they have not suffered it does not mean that the APC has not tried and is still trying. For example, presently as I speak to you, there is a court, there is a suit, and it's supposedly former lawmakers of of the ADC who had gone to court to challenge the current leadership. I mean, they're being funded by the state. They're being funded by our resources. Yeah. And that's not the only suit. They have had several suits, all domiciled in the court of Justice Omotosho, and who, from all intents and purposes, is the judge assigned to ensure that the ADC does not leave another.
Well, that's not an entirely fair comment to make about the judiciary, is it? You
can make a judge of what is
right. Now, if the primaries, we're almost out of time, if the primaries are held in the ADC and Atiku loses, what then?
Atiku will submit himself to the process, and that is to support whoever it is that emerges as a candidate of the ADC. That's what it is.
And we'll hold you to that, shall we?
Please do. Bookmark it.
Paul, I want to thank you very much indeed.
Always my pleasure.
Paul Ibe is media advisor and spokesman for the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Thank you very much.
So that's that about that. Now we're gonna move on and just just take this last topic, the discussion between the statement made by Yusuf Dati today. And that wasn't really received well. But let's see.
Labour Party, forward never, forward ever, backward never. The real champions are the Nigerian people. Able chairman of Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure, National Secretary Alhaji Umar Farooq Ibrahim, my leaders in the National Working Committee, state chairmen and secretaries, distinguished comrades, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the media force, good day to us all.
Okay.
I salute the courage and efforts of Labour Party to have scored over 10 million votes in the ill-fated 2023 presidential.
Let's just stop there. What is it talking about? What is it talking about? Where did you see the 10 million votes? Did you do the tally? We can confess that they rigged the election in Rivers for Tinubu, though we knew, but this is now coming out from his mouth. I knew that Rivers State, that election from Rivers State for Tinubu was a fraud. I knew that one. I knew that one was a fraud. Because there was no way Tinubu would have won Lagos. And even though, sorry, I said Lagos, Rivers. And those people even working with APC even said at the time that this was actually an exposure. That they just needed Wike to give 25%. And the guy went to over-deliver. And now he's just talking all over the place. I think he feels threatened. That's why he's been at River State for a while now.
Presidential election and in presenting evidence of same to the courts. I share the pain and agony of chronic misgovernance that follows successive fraudulent elections and that continues to be manifest in deadly insecurity, a failing economy, and aggravated corruption. Having witnessed the quiet exits of dear comrades that we achieved election victory with in 2023, it genuinely behoves on me as a loyal party member to declare that I remain in Labour Party.
Leader, oh, leader, leader, oh, leader, party you know, leader, you.
I intend to remain in Labour Party.
Okay.
Honorable colleagues, distinguished comrades, defection is not actually a crime, but choices reflect morality, social responsibility, and actual character. I therefore question nobody for exercising their rights. Of course, I side with the arguments of my able leaders, especially the philosophical points expounded by my honorable Attorney Benny.
This is already getting boring. It's already getting so boring. But again, let's just go out.
My own history, to be candid, is not free of such change at some point in time. I was elected in 2003 in the then AMPP and recontested.
You thought Abure has been sacked. LP is the most confused party in Nigeria, too many factions. So, no, Abure was has refused to go. He refused to go. I think, unfortunately, the Labour Party has been built as a party not to win elections. They've been built as a party that is being unionized. That's why it's difficult to get anything done with that party, unfortunately. So they have their constitution. They just run it like the NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress. Basically, that's how they run the LP. This is just more like the Nigerian Labour Congress with a political face. So it becomes very difficult to do stuff. Yeah, Abure was meant to go. You know, that was what caused the fight between Kenneth Okonkwo and Obi. the way the whole thing actually went. But now, Aburi has refused to go, and now he's the one there. And yeah, it's just unfortunate.
In AMPP. My principles of belonging to the leading opposition political party made me contest Senate 2011 in the then CPC. Calls for violence and the violence that ensued.
What you see this Fulani man doing is the Fulani way of being everywhere power is, or seems to be. All they know is taking advantage of the chaos. He's been advised by his Muslim handler to do this. I've never been a fan of this guy, even when it was Peter Obi's VP. I just feel that he talks carelessly. I don't know. He just appears to me as not really knowing what he's doing. Or maybe he knows what he's doing, though. What's my tribe? I'm from the Yoruba tribe.
Made me avoid APC in 2015, as I did not even contest elections the year that the dreaded APC government came into power. In 2018, I contested presidential primaries in the then PDP. Again, being the leading opposition political party. Again, based on principles, I walked away from 2022 Kaduna State governorship primaries, being that I decided to respect the rotation of presidency between North and South for 2023 to 2027. For avoidance of doubts, I have consistently remained in a party called the leading opposition political party in Nigeria.
Guys, that's funny. It was in different parties, though. So now there's a party called Leading Opposition Party.
I saw a great opportunity for national unity in electing His Excellency Peter Obi in 2023, and so gladly answered when I was invited to serve as vice presidential candidate. Make no mistake, we won this election. The rest is history and an academic exercise. Now in Labour Party, I intend to remain in Labour Party.
Okay.
This is not to say that I'm unaware of sinister...
That is a joke. Yeah, the guy has always been a joke, actually. Yeah. And it's just unfortunate that I knew he was not going to deliver for Peter Obi. At least Peter Obi delivered in the South for the most part. You know, Southeast, one, and all those places where it's kind of, not too north, right? It won Abuja, it won even Lagos. Right? This guy, he didn't deliver shishi.
Political assignments always at work. A party that presented 10 million votes to the court.
He just kept saying 10 million votes. Where did he get the 10 million votes? How did you get it? Can you give us at least that 10 million votes? At a high level, just give us by region or by state.
Deserves respect and loyalty. A party that united genuine democratic citizens needs to be sustained. A party that mobilized Nigerian youth must be promoted.
Okay.
I had earlier engaged all party members to reconcile, and while some heeded my calls, others took offense and proceeded to defect. No regrets to me for this role, however, as a leader in this party. In this defection case, neither my humble self nor the Labour Party are the aggressors. A group of political travelers welcomed in 2022 with a presidential ticket continued with their journey. Simple. This is a fact to keep in mind in anticipation of the ever-ready hostile online attitudes.
Okay.
With all humility, Labour Party can flaunt its successes in the presence of financial difficulties in an era of perfected electoral fraud. Labour Party produced a state governor, 8 senators, about 40 House of Reps, about 45, about 50 state House of Assembly members, most of whom have now defected. And again, I am proud to be associated with real members like my brother, Honorable Etana Beni.
Okay, that's interesting.
Labour Party is now free to learn from past errors and omissions and present best candidates in 2027. And to this end, I hasten to say that there is a whole generation of highly educated, experienced, and well-motivated Nigerians in the waiting to be led by a new kind of leader to a new kind of party. That party.
Labour Party won the 2023 elections hijacked by the Poverty Congress. Okay, fine. Let's assume Labour Party got 10 million votes, but it wasn't because of the party and that it had to major contributions to those votes. What LP got was because of OB. I think what the reason why LP got those votes was partly NSAS movement, for the most part. Number 2, the disastrous years of Buhari. And then Obi was just someone that, came in at that point in time, given the current dynamics, of the Nigerian political situation, and was able to also ride on that trend, to be able to at least say, this is what we're going to deliver. And that was what actually did work for Obi. Now, I don't know if all of those metrics, as strong as they were then, would still be. I mean, there's still an element that I would say might favor him this time around, but it's becoming much more difficult right now with respect to the way the APC have actually captured most of the political structure of almost all the states. But we'll see what happens. Again, that's just my own fair representation. This guy is a traitor. Why is he a traitor? I mean, he remained with the LP. Arewa will be funneling money to him to sustain LP from now so that they will remain relevant during elections. It means any Igbo politician from LP must kiss the ass of the Arewa people. Yeah, and again, and that was why I felt, at the time when they had this issue, I felt like Peter Obi should have taken a more drastic how will I call it, approach. He shouldn't have allowed these guys to have their way. There are some times where you have to actually go all out and take your gloves, right, off, and then, and then just do the dirty work. But I'm not sure Peter Obi was actually primed for that. And that's why the party is the way it is. Our Labour Party is actually not built as a party to win elections. Let's not get that mixed up. Labour Party is a party that was built just to be there as a vehicle for whoever wants to use it to do whatever they want to use it to. That's why it was easy to, of all the party that was infiltrated, it was Labour Party that was very, very easy to infiltrate because they are an offshoot of NLC, technically, and that's it.
Party is Labour Party. That leader is for Labour Party to find. Nigeria does not lack good people to lead. The good people avoid unhealthy political culture in expensive platforms under undemocratic godfathers. Labour Party is still in good shape and has somewhat been relieved. Now is the time to quickly re-engineer.
Oh, okay.
With the right candidates, 2027 election victory can be assured. Reconciliation efforts began earlier will be sustained. No one will be asked to leave anymore. All members are welcome to rebuild the party and promote their individual political aspirations. Labour Party, by its name, its design, its philosophy, is that unique party bona fidely concerned with welfare of citizens.
Okay.
And because the bourgeois are comfortable, labor concentrates on the working class, the trading class, and the middle class. I see in Labour Party the right leader.
Guys even dry. At least go to River State. You have guys, elderly grandfathers dancing for Wike. Saying Wike there our body. Like, I just reading from a book. He doesn't even have any life to the speech. It's just boring and all. I mean, I think at this point I'll just move. I'll just skip and move on. If the election is conducted very well, you will see ignorant people in the interland that will still vote LP, thinking that OB is still a member. OB gave so much publicity to LP. I mean, OB made LP so much mainstream. That was what he did. That was what he did to LP. He made LP mainstream. And LP had not been able to manage this kind of success before. You understand? So when you're just there, just in the radar, having once in a while, you have a governor, that wins the election. You have one or two members, nothing really major. And then you had this major move. And then LP became, viral and everybody became affiliated. Everybody wanted to do something with LP. And then all of a sudden, you get this big, that's 6 million votes. That was a big victory, And then, that was it. And then it just becomes, they didn't even know how to handle it. It's just like VDM now saying he's God, right? It's like the guy has gotten some good level of success in his content creation business that now he doesn't even know what to do anymore. He's now becoming obnoxious to himself. Yeah, let me just binge watch it and then
with
move
the right
on.
leader in Nigeria.
Let me just move on.
Please hear me again. Nigeria can afford it.
What?
My good friend, the police constable, the army private, the teachers that are looked down at.
Okay, let me just move to the end.
I feel sorry for
this
us.
is Abure.
But yes, an Hollywood drama played out. And they pleaded that, please, the government is very weak.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you're punching, it can crash. And I said, didn't you hear me? Did I say I don't even want to talk about those people because the government is weak? Now listen, these are what we call paper tigers. The wind is blowing and they're scaring people. Do not be afraid. Trust in God, believe in yourself, believe in yourselves. And they will add up to nothing. You can rescue Nigeria. If your name is a human being, a human being will sort you out. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a human being. There are human beings in Labour Party. Among those human beings, one of them is likely to remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a rigged-in President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, that's that about this guy, but it's what it is.
Peter Obi will not get 1/4
Okay, let me see this.
of the votes he got. He rode on an opportunity.
Obi has to go around to those cities, towns, and villages he visited in 2023 before the election to campaign vigorously again so that they know that he has changed his party to ADC. Oh boy. I think you should wait first before even him going to be sure if he's going to stay in ADC. With this one that they are trying to do with him now, I think he should just wait. Immediately Peter Obi left Labour Party, INEC has come out to say that Abure's tenure was over. Peter Obi was their target. They kept quiet all this while. Structure of criminality. That's the Abure guy, right? Abure messed up big time. I mean, I don't understand how he held on to that for that long. If I become president, the police, the army, and the teacher will earn no less than 4 times their current salary by June 2027. I am my own boss. I contested for the presidency before Peter Obi in 2019. That's Baba Ahmed, ex-running mate of Peter Obi. I don't even understand this partnership, to be honest with you. Obi should just chill and see what happens. I mean, it's just that I don't know if he wants to defect again this time around. Yeah, but that's all about what happened with Baba Ahmed Datsi today. Okay. Wike accuses Fubara of cancelling 10,000 youth jobs in Riverfield. Oh, wow. So during a rally, okay, let me see this. Wike, let me see this one. And it's just crazy that the way these politicians are using their son, as a prop is just crazy. Peter Obi will accept VP from Atiku. Yeah, I expect him to do that. Hopefully, I think that's what he wants. And Atiku also would not be that dumb not to give him that VP. So this guy's been moving all around the state. The way he even takes his kids up and down. Aside from those working in the oil sector in River State, what else do other people do? I think most of them, they're just into politics. Because the way you see all this crowd during a working day is what baffles me. And you see all these old men dancing during a working day. This is not a weekend.
That's how you know how human beings are. I handed over. See where I stop. Please make sure you continue with this program that will make our state to be one of the respected states in this country. When I was here, Nigeria used to respect us. But I don't know what it is today. You will tell.
I'm not sure Nigeria used to respect you.
We never made mistake. I will not make mistake and continue to support Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
This guy might be a problem for the APC at some point. I know it's already like the whole battle now, it's just crazy. Fubara is even saying that they will dance in public, but when they are this thing, they will cry. We have a big tax ahead to preach the gospel of President Tinubu. Let me say this one. What's he talking about?
There is every reason to support Mr. President. If not for any other thing, as a person, I know the sacrifice he has made to ensure that we still stand as a government. So I took this decision as my own return favor, my own clearing the bush to ensure that his re-election come 2027 would be easy, smooth in this state.
Yeah, I think this time around, I think they might just put all the whole thing together such that, he wins River State for real this time. Do you know that 25-year-old son is being prepared to run for the National Assembly of a retiring man from Wife's local government? Wow. That's crazy. There was even a picture, I don't know if I still have it, where he was sitting on a well-prepared chair and the chairman of APC was sitting on just like a very, very rough chair.
Let me thank every one of you, our leaders, who have always been disturbing me. And finally, when I took the decision, you said, you're standing with me.
Yeah, Fubara is a low energy Ryan that works against him. Perception is key most times. Sorry, I mean Wike's son. Yeah. I know it was Wike's son. Yeah, because I saw him there. And Fubara seems to be somebody that nobody wants to really trust. Even those in APC, they're kind of a little bit worried of him. Although they're trying to project him as, the 001 and all that. Behind the scene, I'm not so sure if that's what is really happening. They're kind of a little bit suspicious of the guy. that if you could do this to Wike, which I mean, I don't care if even if it does more than that to Wike, but they're also kind of, politicians, right? None of them is a saint, so it's just crazy.
There is no going back.
And it looks kind of boring too, like most times, right? When he talks. What does this one has to say? Isaac, this fire shake guy, I don't know. I don't know if I want to listen
Zebra
to
crossing. You can't they run when motor they
the way the guy they shine eyes at times, they scare me.
come. People come to look and say, why you they run? Now you get the road. Once you are standing on that zebra crossing, now you get the road. You can't they run. Motor they come. Oh, this one have suffered. How do you explain PDP and APC chairman, party chairman, on plastic chair?
Yeah, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at the chair that Wike son is sitting.
25-year-old son.
Yeah, that's the son you were referring to.
Pushing chair like this. Zazu.
Look at that.
Aka. And then get picking for house. I'm sure those APC and PDP leaders go, they call that Wike son, brother, uncle. Then go, they greet her like this.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Wike picking con, they cushion share, comfortable. They can't do. Some of them stand. INEC, by the way, why are they campaigning in River State? This is against electoral law. Even Ekiti, our election is in June. We are not campaigning yet.
There, yeah.
Why is Wike doing local government tour? Why are they campaigning for President Tinubu? Why are they doing all these things? INEC, this is to say you are biased already and you cannot caution them.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a real fair point.
It is sad. That is sad. So there is one law for some people, one law for others. What a country.
Well, we will not get enough votes like it did in 2023. Yeah, that's what I've also been trying to explain, that there were certain factors then. Looking at the structure and what APC has done successfully in destroying other political parties and all the, the defection, the way also that, I mean, we've seen, either you like it or not, we've seen some leadership, the first time that would actually, because most Nigeria have not been exposed to Peter Obi. Most of the record he had before 2023 was in Anambra State. Okay, and people have disputed a lot of stuff and all that. I don't want to go into that. But we've also looked at how he's been able to handle, at least at the minimum level, the political parties and all that. And I think even most Obedients are not happy with the way things actually, fell out. So again, I'm just putting that out there. But we'll see what happens. Let's see the primaries. Let's see the composition of the ticket, and then people will make up their mind who they want to support. But at the same time, also, people want to be sure that the election is not rigged, and I think I also want to expect that the political parties will be on ground, on that day and do a more of a thorough job with respect to guarding their votes.
Law. It's not campaign. This is not time for campaign. It's supposed to be FCT.
Okay, so that's that. I mean, I still don't understand the way they're projecting. Like, this is the whole thing. This is party chairman. See this song there? Like, you can't make this stuff up. No, once he wins, right? I mean, he will just be taking orders from his dad. He doesn't even need to say anything. He doesn't even need to do anything. We just be taking orders from the dad, because he's there not as an individual, he's there as Wike. So again, I don't even know if he's going to perform at all. And that's the problem. I mean, and the same thing also is happening with Sheyi Tinubu. This guy is just so unfortunate. But that's the reality. Some stood up, this one sit down for, chair and all that. And it's quite unfortunate. Rivers youth have officially kicked off a Fubara's movement and a campaign against Wike. Thanks to the power-drunk Wike, his reign may not last longer than Fubara's fears. Let's see.
Na Fubara. Abuja daddy talk say na Fubara. Oyo to Wike talk say na Fubara. No SIM card, no network, na Fubara. No SIM card, no network, na Fubara. Na 001, na Fubara. 001, na Fubara.
Wow, that's quite interesting. And people are now trying to remind Wike that, hey, remember when you were
Even when
this.
you have spent your 8 years in office, that you continue to pretend to say who becomes who, whatever, in River State. It doesn't. Somebody say me. It may happen in Lagos State, but it will not happen in Rivers.
Exactly.
We are quite different. It will not happen here. As a governor, I will come and go. I can't stop it.
Wow. You have to clip this, right?
Come and go. What did Kevin left? You've never heard of me saying that you will do this, you don't do that. The day my tenure, by the grace of God, ends, I go. That's how God wants it. But see, when you are in a position to think that what's happening in Lagos State, you will do it here. It may be difficult. You cannot continue to say you must be a godfather of the state. That's the problem. It's not possible.
Wow.
Today I live here in the name of Almighty God. I have no business to say, what must I produce? Why? What am I hiding? The people of the state should be able to say, this is who they want to produce. We from River State, we know we have lost somebody in Dr. Peter. I can tell you, one of the Nigerians.
Wow. Our time has changed. You know, they always think about the next election. And then when they get to the final election, they say, how do I, perpetuate myself in power? And this video has been circulating a lot, and now it's now at the receiving end. Maybe he felt like what Tinubu is doing, he should have also actually learned well so that he could actually execute better. Unfortunately, he didn't learn well. So that's where things are right now. This is another one. Same distance. I think that's the same
Giving
thing.
his rift with his political godfather.
Let's look at. Okay,
What
this
advice would you give to your brother governor in Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, giving his rift with his political godfather?
I will tell him to resist it.
Clip that.
If it is correct, I'll say to resist it. Godfatherism cannot work in River State. It will never work.
What advice would you give to your brother governor in Lagos?
This is when he was mentally balanced, right? Now it's turned to a shell of himself, unfortunately. Wike is in trouble. Crisis spill into APC as governor rallied behind Fubara. Let me see
what
if I
happens if Wike joins the party tomorrow. He will be given a position. There will be a seat for him. If he decides to join, he will be placed accordingly. Will he replace Fubara? No way. He will certainly be under Fubara. But do you think he will agree to be under Fubara? No, that's a choice for him, right? If you follow, you will be followed. But if you don't follow, nobody is going to follow.
Again, I don't even understand that APC's ideology. Like it's so dumb in the face of it. Somebody moves in. So again, yeah, technically, the state governor is the leader of the party at the state level. Okay, so for you to be the state government in a functioning democracy, you would have, you would have won elections. You would have run one structure or the other. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. Sanwo-Olu is not the leader of APC in Lagos. Tinubu is the leader of APC in Lagos. So again, APC tries to use all these things to kind of play gymnastic and all that. It doesn't make sense. If Fubara that has not contributed anything to the party until just now that he defected, and then you're like, he's the leader, he's the old one. Well, it's fine. It's your party. You can do whatever you want to do with it. But it's just dumb. If I were Fubara, I would just place the willing youth on allowance and make the whole youth of the River State who normally don't also like others. Oh, yeah, we willingly jump into Fubara's re-election. Yeah, I think Fubara also, I think they've kneecapped the guy. To be honest with you, I think he's also kind of, I think he's also being careful not to walk into a trap. Anything he does right now, or any money, now I think this might be a good way to actually win people to his side, because you can just say, oh, this is youth allowance, this is from the state government and all of that. But then the question will be, I'm not sure if he has the power to pass all this in the state assembly. So I think Wike has actually put in so many bumps on the road that even Wike cannot use money anyhow. Fubara cannot use money anyhow he wants.
Follow you. When he was the governor, he was followed. Now that he's not the governor, he must follow. You cannot carry the position of leadership after vacating the seat.
But he always gets what he wants. Wike, probably he will move for, is it alteration or changing of the APC constitution to now say maybe if you had served and then you are still agile and all that, politicians can do anything.
Well, I think you're not being fair to Wike. You want us to revisit his encounter with that naval officer, where he tried to get what he wanted and he didn't get what he wanted. So I don't want us to go there so that we don't overflog the issue. But certainly he does not get what he wants all the time. There are times when if you go against the let-down regulations, you cannot get what you want.
Nobody gets what they want all the time. I mean, that's just life.
And as a lawyer, he knows better. Because the first article of the Constitution, I'm not a lawyer, but I know the first article of the Constitution. It says everything and everyone within the Federal Republic of Nigeria is not supreme over the Constitution, which means the Constitution is supreme over everyone. And the Constitution has spelled out positions. Hierarchically, it has spelled out roles. So you cannot come and impose yourself above that which was prescribed by the Constitution. He is a lawyer, he knows better. The Constitution recognizes the position of a governor. The Constitution recognizes the position of the president. It recognizes the position of a leader.
But we are beginning to see a situation whereby political leaders deal with the Constitution at their convenience. Look at the recent issue around the tax reform, and many other things. So will you blame people like Wike who believe? Because he said as soon as, Fubara, for instance,
Fubara can buy Wike's boy in the assembly if he's smart, teach her more money, more than Wike, and they will gradually start dumping Wike. Anything can happen in politics. At least we saw that happen with Bukola Saraki and his father, right? Yeah, you just see the son is voting alongside Wike, and that would be interesting to see.
As his ways, he is buried. But he concluded himself, meaning that crisis is brewing heavily in Rivers State. Are you not worried looking at the voter strength of Rivers? And by the time now Wike is not satisfied with the current arrangement, probably you will not get the votes that the president expects to get from Rivers.
Yes, I will not.
No, I think Tinubu is in a very good place when it comes to Rivers election. I think he's been able to play. He was so smart to play them against each other. So people say who benefited the most from that emergency declaration by suspending Fubara. I think it was Tinubu. Tinubu just saw an opportunity, and he went against Wike. Wike knew that from the start that this was the move against him. So there's nothing he can do. In this game, politics is war. You have to choose your battle carefully.
I'll be happy, particularly because I don't want to attend his funeral. But
Wike's funeral?
Yes, I don't want to.
Not the president's funeral?
Certainly it's not going to be the president's funeral because the president didn't say if someone wins, he will be buried. But he said if Fubara wins, he's going to be buried, but conditionally, politically, he said. So I think he's not talking about real
life situation.
Yes, so politically, he said he will be buried politically. Okay, I don't have the right to vote in Rivers. I don't have any special interest in Rivers other than the victory or success of my party. So whatever happens, my wish is that the APC wins in Rivers, and I believe it is going to win because it is working assiduously day and night to see to it that it galvanizes the opinions of the people of Rivers in such a way that they will vote for it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. We'll see. APC declares Wike will be under Fubara if he defects to the party. Wike is not going to defect. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's going to defect. It's just what it is. Jordan, my son, there's money in River State. You must rule over them and their resources. Now one says, yes, daddy. This fight between Fubara and Wike will give space for Obi to come in, win some votes from Rivers when the time comes. Yeah, I think Obi should be able to get some votes. Again, I just don't want to preempt. I want to wait for the primaries. Let me see what happens with the primaries, and then we can take it from there. Yeah, so that's one of the major things, you're trending Wike na minister, na Fubara be governor. Another song. Wow, what are these ones? Let's see.
You know be God, oh. I will like for you.
Oh, more River State.
Weekend and lager. Weekend, oh, na minister you be, oh, na Fubara be governor.
That's crazy. Hi, okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hi, I go okay. Wow. Again, I mean, it's fair. We'll see what happens. Yeah, let me see if I have anything to go for. Where's this one? Okay. Wow. Okay. But while of all political gladiators in Nigeria, the one who is an actor. Okay, let's look at this one. You guys won't like this guy. Possibly if you can actually catch him and give him some.
He's a character, which means he's an actor.
Actually, of all political gladiators in Nigeria, the one who is an actor is Peter Obi. I will tell you why.
Damn.
They told us in movie is make believe. It is not a reality. That's what he is practicing. Okay, let me give you a good example. After the election, he lost everybody he was leading. He had House of Rep and Senators. How many are there in the National Assembly at the moment?
Almost nothing, because most of them have defected.
The only governor he had, is it the governor with him or the governor with us? Then you cascade it down to states. In fact, I have not seen one that identifies with him at the moment. All the elections he has gone across Nigeria supporting candidate, all of them failed.
But one will say they are not associating with him because of the sitting government. Because the truth is, when you're a politician, now person where they chair, now you go they navigate towards, not the person we know.
But he claims to be building a movement. A movement means you are departing from the norm. That means these people can go to Lake Chad with you. They can enter the Atlantic Ocean with you. They can grab transformer for you. But just they realize after a while that, oh, this is Jackie Chan. No, this is not actually someone with the intention to govern Nigeria.
The people that realize that are the politicians that are with him, that are using, this is what I'm thinking, that are using his platform to get what they want. Because the truth is, if I was a politician, to be quite honest with you, I'm going to be an opportunist. I see what is going on. I see that everybody's jumping on the Obi bandwagon.
He's actually an opportunist in chief anyway, but go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Do you know why? The army of Trojans that he has on social media, they attack people. They say, you're a two-faced, you change party. That's what they do every day. But when you say their master and hero has been changing party like the way a player in the Premier League is changing club every season.
What is it?
He started with PDP, then went to AFGA. In AFGA, he came to PDP. PDP, he went to Labour. Right now, when you hear people talk about between the devil and the deep blue sea, he's between AD and Labour.
Okay, we'll see. No more infrastructure building in Rivers is all going to be politics all till election is over. I think they've started, and you're right. You're right. I think they've started elections already in Rivers. I can actually declare to you the election has already started in Rivers. This was the same loudmouth that was going around TV channel denying Christian genocide and saying Trump will not intervene in Nigeria, but Trump did eventually. Yeah, Boala is two-faced actually. Boala has lost his mind since because he himself said people's brain work. Exactly. I mean, even Reno too. Like the things he said against Tinubu, wow. Anyway, they're politicians. Boala said people's brain work 24 hours a day till they join APC, then it stops working. Yeah, that's really crazy. Okay. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We've listened to this. Kenneth Ogoku, this book something. Let me see this one. I think this will be the last stuff for today. So for this morning.
So let's go back to the ADC.
Very good. Oh, beautiful ADC.
Yes.
You know,
Peter Obi is there now.
Yes.
Are you going to be working together?
Now, let me tell you. The Southeast obviously has become an ADC.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah.
ADC geopolitical zone. Do you know what we say now in Southeast? What?
This guy knew. They high. Please interpret. What the heck? What does that even mean?
Now, let me tell you.
Why they don't give Peter Obi that presidential ticket?
Let me tell you. Anybody you see in ADC is allowed to get into ADC on one condition. You must be a true Democrat.
Okay.
One thing ADC will not compromise on is internal democracy and living on the tenets of democracy. No leader, no opposition leader was allowed to give conditions before entering in. Because we want to exercise discipline. So that is why everybody took their time to come into ADC, because we want that foundation to be solid. Now Southeast is gone ADC, like I said, they will.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, 100%.
Any other politician who is not in ADC, who wants to do any other parties working for Tinubu?
Are you working?
It's as simple as that.
Are you going to work with Peter Obi? Because remember the last time.
He is an ADC member. We work with every ADC member. Be rest assured. Whoever emerges as the presidential candidate of ADC, I will work for the person.
Even if it's Peter Obi?
Why not?
Okay.
But I said this so many times. I don't have any personal rift with anybody. I am saying that when you come as a group,
dude is just performing. As far as I'm following, as far as I know, Kenneth Okonkwo is not going to be happy if Obi wins the ADC ticket. 100%. I agree. This is because he has been praying to cash in a politician since 2015, but he couldn't. Yeah, it's so unfortunate for him, right? He's been following Tinubu up and down, and then left Tinubu for Obi, and then Tinubu won. I think he's been trying to get back. Yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens. Jokers, none of them will ever talk about basic things to improve the people, only nonsense talk. Yeah. Thanks, GBT show for the
you bring your people as a group, you have more bargaining power. Southeast now has more bargaining power in ADC. So for the interest of our people, we must cohere and collaborate with other regions.
Even if Peter Obi doesn't get that presidential ticket.
Yes.
Even if it's someone else who gets it, the Southeast will still support that person.
Why not?
In your view?
Why not? Peter Obi himself said it in the X space. He said, look, he's going to work together with every ADC person in order that the best will get the job.
Kenneth is counting on cashing out from Atiku. Yeah, he's been doing the job very well. Like, he's been all in. Like, Atiku all in. Atiku or nothing. He came up with a theory of you need a northerner to beat a southerner, that Obi shouldn't run as a presidential candidate because it's easier for a northerner to beat, Tinubu. I don't know how, I don't know the veracity of that, but Kenneth is just a noisemaker, always on the losing side, unfortunately.
In democracy, unfortunately or fortunately, the best becomes who the people choose.
No pun intended.
That is the principle of democracy.
No. The best is not what the people choose. In democracy, it's just the number that determines who win. The best may not even win at all. You know.
People, this
guy is high.
So that's what's going on now.
Okay. We'll see what happens. Yeah, and guys, thanks a lot for watching. That is where we are right now. And in other news, this is the same with Dele Momodu. Yeah, he's been also trying to cash in on Atiku too. Yeah, I agree. I pray to wake up tomorrow and hear breaking news. Nigeria has been divided. God, please. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's just quite interesting, and but just be prepared to have Peter Obi much more questioned. And again, unfortunately, you would not be able to have other party like APC question. And it's just unfortunate that the level playing field is not as leveled as you want it to be. But I think now a lot of scrutiny and all that will be going for Obi and all that. Obi is the prize at this point in time, you know, and that's it. We'll see what happens. Is this true? No drug-related case for Atiku. No AFCC case, no ICPC case, no health-related case, no forfeiture case, no certificate case. These are ADC guys. These are PDP guys. God will help us. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for the chat. Have a very good day. Bye.